Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of Delso Valley. We don't stay here. We do move to Newcrest later in the piece, but I initially wanted to build in this world. So this is the inner circle lot, which is kind of like the downtown area of Delso Valley. It's where the starter home would be. But it is quite a large lot. In the past, I've built a lot of like duplexes and like larger family homes that were somewhat affordable. And I think maybe that was the vibe for this particular build. In the end, I don't think it's overly affordable. I can't remember the exact amount that it is. It is available on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is Antoinette.44. It is in the description below if needed. So this is a 3x1 family home and it's in a kind of semi-modern style, I guess. It's a very basic floor plan. I did struggle a little bit with the roofing just because there were certain pieces that are, different lengths. So when you've got different lengths, you have to kind of manipulate the roof in a way so that everything's covered and not sticking out. So I worked out that problem. And then the next major issue with this build was the colouring. I really struggled with the exterior and finding a combination that fit. And in the end, I went with I think it's like a pale sliding with the windows and stuff that came with Strangerville. I just really like them. They do give it like an old-fashioned vintage vibe. They do kind of have a Victorian feel about it, but there's something about the way they sat with this build that the front facade looked really good. And I think that's why in the end I ended up moving the build to Newcrest. I love to build in Newcrest. I prefer it. It's got better lighting, but it does feel like this particular build would fit better in there, in that kind of neighborhood. I think with being the initial, concept being semi-modern, I kind of wanted to keep it in Delso Valley, they have a lot of like modern mid-century builds in this world. But yeah, it didn't end up being that way. But in typical Anna fashion, my build is essentially a combination of so many decor styles. And I think that, in the new year, that is something that I'll be looking and focusing on doing more is like, okay, if I'm building a modern build, it's a modern build. It's not modern with a little bit of farmhouse. It's not modern with a little bit of beach theme in it. It's a modern build. Like I need to kind of like restrain myself in that. Alrighty, so we are now moving inside for the floor plan. I did start with a little bit of placement furniture just because I wanted to. My goal was to have the entire living space in that front kind of square, which we do end up doing. So it ended up being a very simple floor plan. So you walk in, you have your kitchen, dining, and your living, and then you go through an archway into a hallway that essentially wraps around in like a U shape. And, as you head to the right side, you have a kid's bedroom, a teen's room. And then as you wrap around towards the back of the property, you have your bathroom and then your master bedroom. And then obviously access to the backyard. And it's just a very simple layout. You could, if you wanted to, reconfigure the floor plan and fit more rooms because they're very spacious. The master bedroom in particular is quite massive, and I think it's okay to have fairly large kids' rooms because there's so many kids' activities that you can have nowadays in The Sims that having a spacious bedroom is probably good for a kid because then they can actually use their room. I've made kids' bedrooms in the past where they're just a little bit too small and they just don't really have a lot of room to actually play and do things. So yeah, I think that's kind of good thing about this particular build is that that's definitely not an issue. All right, now I've started the decorating process. We are in the kitchen. I have used, obviously the color scheme really has pulled from the exterior. So those dark wood tone windows, I made sure that I used a lot of darker colors in here. I love this dining table. I think it's just a base game one, but it has a swatch which reminds me of a table I actually have in real life, which is this one here. And the chairs that I have to go with it are white. They're not yellow, but it's an identical set, and I thought that was quite sweet. So you can see what I mean by it's got a semi-modern vibe to it. This is like kind of the faux little entryway. I did struggle with where to put windows because the curtains were clipping into the fridge. So I do end up putting a one tile window there, but I had to move a couple of things just so that it wouldn't clip into the fridge. That's more my OCD. It would work, but like I am such a perfectionist when it comes to building that I want to make sure that if it is on the gallery, which it is, this build is, that you guys don't have any issues when playing the game. All right, so I love these little lounge chairs. So this came from Aventura Weights. I love the texture of it. I love the patterns. The swatches are really solid. And I've paired it with a lot of the stuff that comes with the Book Nook kit. So this couch comes from the Book Nook kit, the coffee table, and a couple of the decor pieces come from the Book Nook kit. Put in a kettle. I love that rug that came from high school years. Yeah. And then over here, we've just got the little dining table with I put in like a cupboard, just like I guess it's like a hutch storage cupboard. This one comes from Jungle Adventure. It's my favorite one. And I think it's my favorite because of A, the size, and B, the swatches. Some of the swatches on the other ones, they're very hard to use in a family home. They kind of fit the vibe of what they were intended for. Like sometimes when you have packs, the assets are for that pack, like Horse Ranch, for example, it's going to be rustic. That's the vibe of that pack. So yeah, anyway. So we are now working on the hallway. So as you can see, it's like a massive U-shaped, hallway. I did have a little bit of extra space around this kind of end section. So I just made like a formal like little sitting area. I love these chairs. So these came from, I think they come from For Rent. I have a feeling they came from For Rent or Growing Together. I can't remember off the top of my head. I paired them with some pillows. We are actually getting some really nice pillows in the base game, and it's actually really nice to see. And all I do is size them up and down and rotate them and whatnot. And they just elevate a space. I really like the little touches. I had some other room on the other side of the hallway, so I decided to do like a little study nook, which I didn't really need in tandem because I ended up using a lot of I put desks in pretty much every bedroom just because I had the space. It was very spacious. So in hindsight, you could make this a 2-story build and kind of reduce the shell size, the overall shell size, which is something that I do in a lot of my base game renovations because a lot of the EA builds suffer from that. Like the spacing is just off. It's just the floor plan is just too big for what it needs to be. Alrighty, we are now officially in Newcrest, where I'm just starting to do the landscaping. I don't know what I'm doing. I struggled to do the landscaping with this build, and I don't know why. I think that I was just trying to keep it clean and simple, but with little pops of colour. And I really like the combination of yellow and brown. So whenever I do like a dark brown exterior color, whether it's in the roof or the window or the wallpaper, I like to pair it with yellows and pinks and stuff like that, just because I feel like it makes it pop a little bit more. So I've gone in with those the flowered hedges with some hydrangeas and just some basic greenery. And as you can see, like I've moved the lot that I've moved to I think it's called Optimus Lookout. You won't see that because when I saved it saved as Inner Circle. This is the same lot as the lot I was building on, and I thought that was really important because it allowed me to ensure the back fencing was the same area. But as you can see how big this is, I could have easily have gone to a smaller lot as well and just reduced the backyard. All right, so I'm going to put in some play equipment. I've made this kind of like, I don't know, garden area. I end up putting a tree and a bench. So it actually looks like a really nice section. And then I do kind of like an outdoor entertaining area. And this is really modern. I think it hit me that I was meant to be making this house a little bit more modern. So I decided to put in these benches. I have never used these benches. These are actually from the holiday pack. And they are really modern and sleek and beautiful. They're not really something that I would think would be in a holiday pack, but I like them. I decided that this would be the perfect build to use the newer hot tub that came with Adventure Awaits. This is like the in-ground hot tub. I thought it was perfect. Yeah, so you got a pizza oven, those little shrubs. So those shrubs come from, what pack do they come from? Maybe Perfect Patio stuff? Potentially. I really like that pack for more modern exterior furniture, outdoor furniture. So it's like backyard stuff is very cutesy and fun, but then Perfect Patio is more the modern version of that, I feel. And so yeah, monkey bars, you've got that tree, and it's like a really sweet little section. I like it. I really do. I think I put in a chair in the back on the back porch. I don't think I put much else. I think just a standard kind of sitting area, and then we will be moving in to the bedrooms. I didn't know really what to put on the porches because I'd already put a chess table somewhere. So yeah. All right, these curtains come from Discover University, or Eco Lifestyle. Yeah, they are I think they're like the Millionaire's hand-me-downs. And I really like them. I've been using them quite a lot because they're just a basic, standard, well-shaped, plain curtain. And sometimes that's all you need. All right, bathroom is massive in this house, as you can see. I start with using the counters that come from the kitchen. We use a little bit of the sleek bathroom kit in here. I use one of those vases that come from Business and Hobbies that you can make in with the pottery skill. I like using them as decoration around the build. So and then just your basic, bathroom clutter. I love that mirror. It's my favorite mirror in the entire game. It is more modern, which again is what we were trying to do with this build. It was meant to be a semi-modern build as per the title. I don't know. I'm still not sold of where I put the bathtub. I feel like I could have done something where I did the shower and the tub separate because there was enough room for it. But in the end, I have decided to just do a shower tub combo. I think it's okay. And yeah. So the day that you are potentially viewing this, the day that it is uploaded, it is Christmas. So I just wanted to take a moment and say, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. And I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas and you spend it with your family. And, I hope that as the year winds down, I just reflecting on the past year, it has been a really wonderful year. I've had a lot of growth on my channel and I've met, had a lot of you guys join on, and I've just done a lot of building. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm so looking forward to the new year and what else I can bring for you guys. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know in the comment section down below what you would like to see. I would definitely be down to, building your recommendations and whatnot. Alrighty, so I have kind of spoke over this entire room. So this is the child's room. This is a beautiful room. I would say this is my favorite room in the entire house. It's just cutesy and fun. It's very similar to the pink bedrooms I would normally do, but it's elevated. I really love that quilt that comes from the little campus kit that adds in the pop of blue, and the wall decal with the tree and the bird. It's the perfect shade of pink. And also the dark wood tone of the branches matches the windows. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. We are now moving in to the teens bedroom, which is a teens girls room. I used the backsplash that came from Business and Hobbies, that floral backsplash, and paired it with the pastel pop kit bed, just because the blue is an identical blue and it was different. I don't normally use this bed. And I thought that this room, it had a cutesy vibe to it, but it was still feminine in a way. Use lots of packs like Lovestruck. We use the hair and claw clip piece, which I love. Business and Hobbies, of course. Pastel Pop Kit. Love the lamp. That lamp comes from Businesses and Hobbies. Again, it's a little bit more Victorian-esque, so it pairs well with the windows. Just a bit of artwork. My favourite freestanding mirror that comes from Jungle Adventure, which again is just, it's on that same decor vibe. So yeah, I use this new plant. So this came from a base game update that we got with that had some like African inspired pieces. And I just think it's a beautiful plant and it's a well-sized plant as well. So I've added that in. We're now moving in to the final bedroom, which is the master bedroom. This was a very odd shape, as you can see. This would be a perfect room for like a living room. So if I wanted to do like a theatre room or something, this would have been the perfect size. This is completely modern, so this is definitely more of a modern room. I would say it's a little bit more masculine, which is nice because a lot of the bedrooms I do are more feminine, even though it's a master bedroom, which you would think would be a shared space. We use a lot of like greens and olive tones and browns. The bed comes from Snowy Escape. It's very modern, very sleek, paired it with a Businesses and Hobbies. Got in a wardrobe. I hate the fact that that swatch has a bright green bag in it. It does my head in, but it's the same color as the bed frame and the windows, so I wanted to use it. This couch comes from the Book Nook kit. And I think we add in, more stuff from the Sleek Bathroom kit. We actually use a lot of the Sleek Bathroom kit in rooms that aren't the bathroom. It's quite great. I put in a painting that's also a TV, and that's just because I had the room, and it's a master bedroom, so it's quite, it's an elevated space. It's fine. I did improve the lighting because it did look a bit dark and moody, and yeah, just putting some final picture frames, and then I have forgotten to furnish the front porch. So I use the beautiful couches that we got from Businesses and Hobbies. They're sleek and modern, and I kind of a little bit more minimal, which does fit the vibe of the home. All right, we are just fixing. We're live in game. All right, so you head through the door and you have your open living space. So it has your kitchen, dining, and living. Really beautiful space. Just fixing the wallpaper. Head through the hall, you have kind of like this U shape. So you head into the main bathroom for the build. You then head down to the right, you have the child's room, which is my favourite space in the home. You have the teens room, very simple in there. You head down the hall, it wraps around. You have a little study nook, and that then enters into the master bedroom. Just very elegant and clean, a little bit more masculine. You head outside, you've got some play equipment, and you've got your hot tub, you've got like a dining area, a pizza oven, you've got like a little gardening nook, you've got the marbles, you've got like a hopscotch, and you've just got some basic landscaping. And that is the build today, guys. So once again, have a beautiful, wonderful Christmas, and I will see you in the new year. Bye-bye for now.